Swamp Thing number 12, written by Jeff Lemire and Scott Snyder, art by Marco Rudy. This is RotWorld Prologue Part 2, following up after Animal Man number 12. And we immediately pick up with Swamp Thing and Animal Man arriving in the Rot, and they're just feeling around, seeing what's going on around here. And they're like, oh man, like, this RotWorld, it's not built out as like a plane, it's built out as like a mountain. Like, it goes deeper. We need to descend down if we're hoping to beat back the Rot. But before they can do anything, they're attacked by a couple of, what are they called? Unmen. And like within 2 panels, they are just completely knocked out. And it's just like, oh, all right. That wasn't hard at all. Does this seem too easy to you? And he's like, no, this doesn't seem too easy at all. By the way, there's a tear in the floor. I think we can use that to get deeper. That's convenient. So meanwhile, back on the surface, Ellen, Maxine, and Abby are all being attacked by the Rotlings, and Maxine's using some hard powers. Like, I didn't even know she had the powers yet. And Ellen is, of course, using her Rot powers as well. Or, sorry, Abby is. Ellen is using a shotgun. And at this point, they're like, okay, these things are just keep on coming out. No matter how many we take out, they keep on coming through the portal. We got to seal up the portal. To which, you know, that's the only escape for Buddy and Alec. So as long as the vine that Alec was protruding through the portal still stays good, then they can find their way through. Like, that's not going to be an issue. So Abby reaches down, uses her Rot powers, and seals up the portal, only leaving enough of a hole for Alec's vine. So, cut back down to the 2 boys. They are looking down through the hole in the Rot, and they jump down to a bone-made staircase. But Buddy ends up tripping, and it's discovered he doesn't have his powers. Like, he's just a normal guy down here. And they're like, Alex just tell him, like, you don't have your... Dude, we should turn back now if you don't have your powers. He's like, no. I got to be here for this. It's fine. I'll do what I can. So they're making their way, descending down this bone ladder deeper and deeper into the Rot. We then cut over to back on the main surface, and basically Ellen's asking Abby, like, hey, you definitely have a connection to the Rot, and I'm very distrustful. You also mentioned, like, your family was part of it, and she's like, yeah, my uncle, he was the avatar of the Rot. But that doesn't really make any sense, though, because he died, and you shouldn't be able to use, like, dead is dead. Which, me personally, breaking the story here, I feel like the Rot's whole thing is dead. So I don't understand why a dead avatar is even a thing. I feel like their avatars would all be dead. But regardless, yeah, you shouldn't be able to bring back a dead avatar, she makes note of. So they descend down the bone ladder and basically just making conversation of, like, man, this ladder goes on forever, and it is, like, eerily quiet down here. I have no idea what we're going to be facing onto. But then they get this feeling, and they're like, wait a minute, hold on, something else is on the ladder. And they look up the ladder, and they see Anton Arcane, who's like, hey guys, glad you could make it. You fell right into my trap. We knew that if we just opened up this portal, you idiots would jump in. So now I'm going to cut your vine. And he starts gnawing into it. And Buddy tells him, like, we have to stop. And he's like, nope, too late. He's too far up the ladder. I can't stop him. However, I can send a message through the vines to Abby. So he moves the vines around, and Abby sees them spell out her name and then wither. And the rest of the portal closes up. So Sox makes the point, like, okay, they're lost down there. Like, there's no way they'll find the portal back. Like, they're just gone. We need to now come up with a new plan, because they're definitely gone. And Abby is starting to feel a deeper, stronger connection to the Rot. Like, they're making their big plan now. And she starts getting, like, symbols and markings on her face. And she talks to Sox and says, like, okay, we had this vision of the world. It was transformed by the Rot. Like, there's only one way out of this. We have to kill the Parliament of the Rot. And Sox is like, yeah, great plan, but we have no idea where they are. To which Abby says, like, I know where they are. I don't know how I know. I feel like I've always just kind of known, but I know where they are. So we're going to have to go kill them. And Ellen just picks up Maxine and says, like, nope. Like, we're not getting involved with this. We just care about our own immediate family. The world can wither. It doesn't matter as long as my family's safe. So you go save. You can go kill the Parliament and Rot. We're just going to go do our own thing. So she picks up Maxine and leaves. And then back down in the bone ladder, Anton just basically explains that the whole plan was like, yeah, no, we knew that you thought that we were on the ropes. So we just played like, oh no, please don't attack us. And you guys just fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. So yeah, you guys are down here and we're going to be ruling up there. Like, we're just going to go do that. Also, you know how I was a dead avatar? Well, it turns out, Alec, you also were a dead avatar. Like, you were dead. Alec Holland was dead. But the green cheated and revived you. And that means if they broke the rules, the Rot could break the rules as well. So that's the whole reason I'm back. So they're just like, whatever. Like, we'll get up there and we'll stop you. There's nothing you can do to stop us for good. And he's just like, no, you don't understand. In the Rot, time moves differently. You've been gone for a year, and we've been ruling it with no one to stop us. Bye. And they just he tosses them off the bone ladder, and they fall for what feels like an eternity until finally they hit ground. Buddy has his powers back. He can feel very, very faintly the red, and Alec also lands in a separate location. He can very faintly feel the green, but he's like, oh, crap, he wasn't lying. It has been a whole year, and the entire world has just gone to hell as Swamp Thing wakes up to Poison Ivy holding a sword at his head, and Buddy wakes up at a zoo where everything has been decapitated. And that's where we leave off. Wow. I mean, I gotta give him credit, like the being gone a whole year thing, and just like everything's already, you missed the apocalypse. Hell of a start to an event of just, this is already post-apocalyptic. I'm loving it. It's an interesting concept. Yeah, no, I genuinely just enjoyed this all around. I really can't find much fault in it. My only real problem is that the Ellen Abbey stuff of like them sitting down and saying like, we have to go kill the Parliament and do all that. They made it look good panel-wise, but it was definitely just like this major stopping point. Because down in the Rot, they didn't have much action at all. They were just kind of moving their way through. So all the action was up top. But then once the thing sealed up, they're just like, okay, let's talk this through. What's our next plan of action? Necessary, of course. Poorly done, not at all. It just felt like, okay, all of a sudden we're slamming on the brakes just because we don't know what we're going to do next, and we need to talk that through. I don't know why it bothered me, but it was just a little itty-bitty thing. So yeah, from this point on, the story's splitting into two separate stories. We're going to have the Green Kingdom and the Red Kingdom, where Swamp Thing will focus on the Green Kingdom and Animal Man, the Red Kingdom. So that'll go on for like, I think 4 issues until issue 18. And then they'll remerge. So that's going to be RotWorld. For this issue in particular, I'll go ahead and give it an 8. I think it is very well done. I think it's an interesting start up to the story to set it already in the post-apocalypse. I'm super pumped to see where it goes. So, I mean, it's done its job well of leading into the event and getting me pumped for it. So, 8 for this, and I'm looking forward to RotWorld.